traveled all the way from Pune. Thank you, sir, for obliging us and joining us here today. On this happy note, I would like to call on stage Architect Pallavi Anchuri, Chairperson IIID Hyderabad Regional Chapter, to please give the Chairperson's address. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Architect Pallavi Anchuri.
Thank you, Gaurav. Sankachadam samvadvan samo manasi janatam. Come together, speak together, let your minds be in harmony. Wishing you all a very happy and prosperous, healthy new year. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to each one of you, our guest speaker, Architect SUNIL PATIL, our past chairs, members, and guests. 2023 has been a wonderful year, and as we step into 2024, today is a great kickstart with our guest speaker, Architect SUNIL PATIL. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. Our keynote speaker today represents the epitome and brilliance and creativity in the world of architecture. Their contributions have not only shaped the landscape of architecture and interior design, but have also set a benchmark for aspiring professionals. We are truly fortunate to have him with us today, and I am confident that his insights will ignite our minds, fuel our passion, and elevate our collective understanding of his work. As we all know, this term has started in September 2023. We had our first general body meeting along with the investiture ceremony and fellowship meet by architect Manish Banker. This term we have started with the new format of term sponsorship, and we received wonderful response from our trade fraternity. We had an inspirational movie screening of Eames, The Architect and the Painter, followed by IIID series, store launch, and finale with the launch of Insider X Showcase 2024. I'm very happy to share that within the 15 days of our launch, my mentor, Architect Yashwant sir, and the team of Forgotten Stepwell of Telangana for joining us today. Thank you very much. Enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, the talk of the town recently has been a very unique publication called The Forgotten Stepwells of Telangana. This book was recently launched at the World Architecture Festival, Singapore, and India Art and Architecture Biennale at Delhi. This was recently also launched in Hyderabad, and the IIID Hyderabad Regional Chapter is extremely proud that our past chairperson and mentor, Architect Yashwant Murthy sir, has been instrumental in creating this book. We are very privileged to have with us the entire team which made the Forgotten Stepwells of Telangana possible. So with this, I would like to invite on stage Architect Yashwant sir and Architect Aparna ma'am, past chair IIID Hyderabad Regional Chapter, to share their journey regarding this book.
Good evening. It feels great to be on home turf again, and thank you all for coming for this evening. We are both going to be very brief. Just tell you a little bit about this book so as not to detract from the main agenda of the evening. So the Forgotten Stepwells of Hyderabad actually began sometime in 2016 with the accidental discovery of the first stepwell in Telangana. And from there, one thing led to another. We formed a team of architects and authors, and we went around looking for stepwells and documenting them. And from zero knowledge of stepwells, we went from 0 to about 171, including stepwells within the city. And we have documented quite a few of them, and the result is this book. But the book has only come up because of the tenacity of the entire team that worked on this. We were about 12 architects and the managing committee of the Hyderabad Design Forum that worked tirelessly, even through the COVID, to put the book together. So I'm going to be very brief and tell you about one typical stepwell and how we documented it. So the first thing to do is to locate a stepwell, to do a reconnaissance and see whether it has the potential to be documented. Having done that, we do drone mapping, 3D printing. We get the geographic coordinates. And the drone mapping in this case was done by IIID Hyderabad, and the 3D printing was done at the university. Then, of course, we make a detailed drawing, a typical measure drawing, plans, sections, all the details that we find, architectural details. Next. And then we have a comparative stepwell of, table of stepwell parameters. So this gives a lot of data, and all of them are listed under this. So this forms the nucleus of the research that we do. And then we record some of the stories. Most of the facts that we got were actually first-hand from primary sources. And in many cases, we had no ways of corroborating them. But nevertheless, as people who are researching, we have recorded those stories. Right. So Aparna will take over from here.
Thank you, sir. So I'd like to thank our chairperson and the current team of IIID for recognizing this work and having us in this evening. I'll try to read out briefly the kind of chapters that we have covered in the book. And as I read out, I'd like the authors to come on stage one by one. And please join sir here. Sorry. Next one is a different perspective on the stepwells by yours truly. It is about how it could have worked as a social space for women. Water nurtures life, and so do women. So we just try to see that connect and see how it worked as a community space as well. This is an interesting take. It's Bodies of Liquid Life by architect Deepika Murthy, who was a student when she was working. Now she's pursuing her PhD in Germany. And she has given an interesting take of her view on a stepwell as a young designer would interpret. I'm not sure if both the architects are here. Restore, Revive, and Rejoice. Architect Arunima Shankar and Kaushal. Are you here? So here, this is a story where they tell us the tale of a detail of hydrological and architectural conservation. So we were the knowledge partners to them. They have a consulting firm that does restoration. This was also the first restoration in a methodical way. Interesting story is they found a turtle while cleaning up the well. A little turtle was again given back to its home when the whole thing was restored and launched. So there are many stories like these that we have. This book, we also across the whole book have interspersed folklore. Kalpana, I'd like to invite you here. She was the one who, it's like we would say headhunting, ensured that we've found the stepwells. One person was geotagging and trying to find out, but she took the courage to step out of her comfort zone and tag these wells for us. And various other write-ups you will see across the thing. I'd request architect Avinash. He's here. So he managed to reach in time. So he was also working with architect Nandu at that time as an intern. Avinash? Yeah. Then later became an architect. Now he's pursuing management in ISB. So he has been instrumental in documenting the whole drawings and putting it all together. So it's a larger, we are only a few of us, but it takes a bigger team. A lot of colleges, 6 were documented by JNFAU, and so many other college students have come forward and done the documentation. 6 years took a long time, because every time you want to document, there's a little bit of expense. So we had to float this little NGO to have some little funds coming in. Whenever we had funds, we did the documentation. Otherwise, we were sitting on it. But I think the last leg, thanks to our friend, Architect Mahesh. I request Architect Mahesh, Architect Subbarao, Architect Nandakumar, and Architect Srinivas, my team members on Hyderabad Design Forum, that we formed as a thing to pursue and create more such research works, more such works of education and value. Publication is not a normal experience for all of us, and this was first time for us. As architects, we know how to run projects. So we have a little work that we needed to kind of fine-tune it, because texts have to be, it is going for print, and we want 2,500 copies. We pulled in architect Neelima, who's Dr. Neelima, and we had her to help us with our text editing. We also want to, please come on to the stage, all of you. I think we have to occupy the stage. Sir, you please come this side. So this work has come into being. We know what is referencing, texting now, and we have a little bit of confidence. We hope to take such work forward and bring more quality work for people to keep, read, and bring to the forum. For IIID members, for today, we would, with your permission, we would like to announce that the price for today is 2,500. We bought some books for you. Please, we hope that you carry them back home. And thank you once again to IIID and the chairperson and the team that you have given us this honor. Thank you very much. Last but not the least, there is one person who was common and always standing by us for all the charts, charchas we did in Sir's office. Bharati ma'am, we'd like request you to please come on stage. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for taking us through that. As you all have heard, we have many copies of these books with us today, and we are also getting them at a very special price. So can I call on stage first our chairperson, architect Pallavi Anchuri, and Sunil sir, can I also request you to join us on stage? We would also like to felicitate Yashwant sir and the entire team. So can I also request our past chairs to join us on stage, starting with Ravi Anchuri. Can I please request you to join us on stage? Nandu sir is already here. Gururaj sir, I believe you have joined us. Please join us on stage, sir. Manoj ji, architect Manoj Vahi, please join us on stage. Ravi ji, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very exciting moment for us. A big round of applause for all the participants on stage and the entire team of the Forgotten Stepwells of Telangana. Wonderful. Let us take a group picture. Ma'am. Yes. Thank you very much. So as we move on, I must acknowledge that this evening would not have been possible without our supporters. We have with us today our platinum partners, DEFA Lighting. And to represent DEFA, we have with us Keyur Javeri ji and Jigresh Ahuja ji. So can I request both of you all to please join us on stage and please briefly share with us your product and details. Can we have the AV and PPT on? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the DEFA lighting team.
Good evening all. I am Jigarsh and I have Keyur with me. So it is our pleasure to announce and show you our profile. And walking through, we have 3 studios in India. We have Bangalore, Hyderabad and Mumbai, and we welcome to the Hyderabad studio. It is open and it is running. So we would like your presence in the studio and experience center. Moving ahead, we are in the industry from past 15 years. We do automation, we do lighting. We are a lighting solutions company. We provide whole design lighting solutions services. Moving ahead, we are in different fields. It is exterior lighting, residential lighting, corporate lighting, and home automation. We have different teams in our company. We have a business development team, product and technical support. We have a team of around 20-25 in-house designers who work on the lighting. And we have a project management team, which is our service team as well. Sorry. So we actually follow a project analysis report, which actually helps us in working overall on the layout and how do we do the lighting layouts. It is a 6-step process from actually understanding how the design is till the end of after-sales service to the client. These are some of the renders and the working that we do. On the right-hand side, we have the layouts. On the left-hand side, how do we actually it is going to come up. Some of the areas that we have done, the concepts, these are the lighting design renders that we do. Some of the site images that have come up, these are all the installation images, actual site images that we have. So in general, we have various brands, approximately 40 brands from different countries across Europe, UK, Australia. Depends on which kind of brand, accretive brands a client is looking at. These are some of the installation images of our corporate and commercial offices and spaces. So we would like to actually showcase one video which is actually of an upcoming product. So we have a manufacturing plant in Vasai, and our company names for the manufacturing is L-Code, which is we only cater to the brand, and we have this video coming up and the product lineup which is coming up. Can I have the video, please? At the end, I would just like to thank you all for having us here. And it gives us utmost pleasure to serve every client, as our motto also says, service with passion. Every client is as equal as important for us as any other client. So thank you.
Thank you, Team DEFA Lighting. It was very interesting to see your offerings. It's great to see the hall fill up as we approach the highlight of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can say, the moment that we've been waiting for is here. We approach our keynote presentation and address. So before I call on stage our guest, I would like to invite Architect Amita Raj, Joint Honorary Secretary, IIID Hyderabad Regional Chapter, to introduce our keynote speaker of the day.
Good evening, everyone, and a very happy new year to all. It is indeed a pleasure and privilege to be introducing our guest speaker, a true visionary in the field of environmental sustainability. By instinct, we all like to be with nature. Our mind and body responds better to nature than man-made spaces. Hence, we try to create spaces with the minimum intervention with nature, architecture or interiors which is in harmony with nature. Well, this is the design approach and philosophy of our guest speaker, Architect SUNIL PATIL, who has dedicated his career to finding innovative solutions for a greener and more sustainable future. I had the opportunity of interacting with him earlier this afternoon, and I attest to his passion, dedication, and commitment towards his work and philosophy. Let me read out a few lines of introduction about his firm. SUNIL PATIL Associates Private Limited is national award-winning architectural and interior design consultancy firm founded in Kolhapur in the year 1994 and later in Pune in the year 2010. His firm has completed numerous versatile projects which includes public buildings, hospitality, townships, commercial complexes, institutional blocks, villas, etc. The team consists of young, enthusiastic, energetic professionals in the field of architecture, engineering, and interior designing, led by principal architect and two directors, engineer Sanjay Patil and architect Anuja Pandit. Architect SUNIL PATIL has been practicing for last 25 years and designed numerous versatile projects. He has won many national and regional awards in different categories. He has been selected as one of the India's top 10 architects for the CW Architect and Builder Award 2010. He has also delivered various lectures in architecture invited by IIIA, IIID, and other public forums. Architect SUNIL Patil's interview has been featured in various national and international media. The firm is known for its innovative use of materials and has been pioneer in the introduction of new materials. Their creative designs are complemented by prompt and quality project management along with use of latest technology. The firm believes that the architecture shall belong to the geographical location, the culture, the climate, and the era in which it is built, and their design stress on using vernacular material in a contemporary style, which they call the contemporary vernacular architecture. He has a list of awards to his credit. His firm has been contributing to the professional and ethical development of the architectural field. It has been participating in competitions since its establishment in 1994. Firm has won many national and regional awards. Honored for Sustainable Architecture Practice in Indo-Egyptian Design Summit in Cairo, Egypt 2023. Outstanding contribution to sustainable and innovative architectural practice in 2023. The Economic Times Smart Green Award, the Indian Institute of Architects National Award, NDTV Awards. Well, the list is endless, so I'm not going to read all of them due to shortage of time. We have almost like 15 to 20 awards to his credit. His work has been featured in many publications and books since 2023, like Inside Outside, Society Interiors, Architecture plus Design, Home Trends, El Decor, Contemporary Facades, Top Indian Residential Spaces by IIID Publications, 50 Beautiful Houses in India, and again, the list is endless. So SPS creative work has also been widely followed by digital media as well as been published on various websites, bulletins, news and articles. One of the mainstream TV channel, NDTV Profit, has featured his projects and interview. Without further ado, I invite you all to join me with a warm round of applause to join me in welcoming architect Sunil Patil.
Good evening, friends. Am I audible? Can you hear me? Yeah. So, thank you very much, IIID Hyderabad chapter, for all this hospitality since morning. Praveen came to pick me up from the airport. Since then, with that very beautifully curated heavy lunch that was curated by Nandu, and in the past week, I've been interacting with Chairperson Pallavi. So it's all, I'm really overwhelmed by the hospitality offered by all of you. And today afternoon, I was supposed to prepare for my presentation, but I slept off because of the heavy lunch. So if anything goes wrong, it is Nandu to be blamed, and not me. Anyway, I love Hyderabad for various reasons. One of the reasons is food, so blame comes on me as well. So I was told to focus or concentrate more on interior than architecture in my presentation. But normally, we at SPA, we take projects with everything like architecture, interior, landscape together. 90% of our projects are like that. Our project starts with excavation and end with curtain fittings. So I really don't know how to do that, but I have just removed some of the initial slides. But normally I talk about, I start my talk with the evaluation of architectural form, which for first few projects I'm not doing it. I'll be just showing you some of the interior slides, and then last few projects I will be talking about in detail. Well, you must have read that by now. So you know that the way we all are building, and the greed to build more and more and for the development has become menace to our sustainability and menace to our earth. So it will be very difficult to sustain our earth for next generation. So I think it is we architects who can control this greed and have the right balance. So that's what I have to say by this statement. How does it move? Huh? Yeah. So as I said, it is very difficult for me to draw lines between architecture, interior, and landscape, because I think they have to complement each other. It's just one. So whenever I say architecture, it also includes interior. It's working. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. So architecture is all about designing of space. And we believe that the space has to be in harmony with the nature, because you know that whenever you go to, for example, if you go to some multi-restaurant hotel, you first tend to sit in an outdoor sitting, however decorated the indoor restaurants are, because your body or your mind tends to interact better with the nature than man-made spaces. So we think that the space has to be in harmony with the nature. So that's what our philosophy is all about. And when you design a space, of course, you cannot design or conceive a space without the thought of the interiors. Unless you know what is going to be the interior and the layout, you cannot decide the penetrations, where the space flows from one space to another. So I think every architect has to be the interior designer first. But without having the thought of interiors, you simply can't create that architectural space of the form. Yeah, and the materials. Now, materials are very important. They give character to the space. It's just like music gives character to the film, that you just imagine a video or a film where there is a scene like, there's a night, a palace on the lake, and wind, and the breeze flowing, Now, if you give romantic music, the scene will be romantic. At the same time, if you give horror music, the scene can be horror. Similarly, the materials can make your space romantic or horror. So it is very important to choose right kind of materials. So that's the most important thing. Then, of course, art. You know that architecture is also, it's called mother of all art. So art in our building, in our projects, art is an integral part of architecture. And we have kind of in-house artists. And they're not in-house, but just like in-house, who do exclusive artworks for our projects. Now, this is one of our residents, which we did long back in 1919, and where we got these statues done on the site itself. Of course, sustainability, I'm not going to, my today's talk is not about sustainability, but I would just like to say a few words about it. It is not a rocket science to achieve sustainability in your building. And if you just follow the simple basic principles of architecture, which we have been taught in our colleges, I think you can achieve a lot of sustainability. So what is it all about? It's about creating a comfortable space with using minimum of mechanical energy. That's what it is. So if you just have your design with absolute natural light and ventilation, where in daytime we don't have to really use mechanical energy, I think that's enough to achieve a lot of sustainability. But what happens is like we cover everything and then we air condition it and then we talk about generating energy from solar or wind. I think we have to look at that. It is not about achieving those rating points by various rating systems. I think it has to be inculcated in the planning itself. Of course, we have also done a lot of projects which are 5-star rated by GRIA or even IGBC, but sometimes what happens is for the government projects, unless you stamp, they don't accept that it is a green building. Otherwise, every building has to be a green building itself. Technology, of course, the architecture has to keep the space with the technology. And here we have engineering department in-house. So we really experiment with a lot of things like these bridges are about 24 meters, spanning 24 meters with composite sections. Then if you see this building later on, we have some cantilevers which are 8 to 9 meters. Doing that with PWD is very difficult because they don't allow you more than 2 meters cantilever. Then recently we did one project which I'm going to show you last, that there is a span of about more than 100 feet between two columns for a bus stand. So I'm going to show you a few houses quickly. I will go through it for interior sake mainly. So this is a house in Pune, which we call it long house because the massing of that house is like that. And it is a G+1 structure with, sorry, I just, oh, it's going automatic, I think. Yeah. So G+1 structure where the ground floor has living room, dining, 2 bedrooms, and first floor has 2 more bedrooms and family areas. Living have double-heighted volume. So this is what it is. This is the front facade. So very simple elevation treatment, slick slabs with some penetrations, some punctures in that, and your horizontal louvers with pine wood. This is the entrance. One more view of the garden where the living room walks out. This is the living room of that house with double-heighted volume, and it's going automatic. Is this thing? Yeah. Let's check off this. Yeah. Oh, because of that. I thought it's going automatic like that. Yeah, so this house was very simple with gray color ceramic flooring with some patterns on that, and the double-heighted volume with large windows. And when we treat double-heighted volumes, it's very tricky to treat the walls. So upper floor also we have taken some elements which come down. Here next day, na? This is one more view of that. The backside of the staircase, we wanted to have some kind of mural. But then we got the idea that we can use this old sari printing blocks, and it could really make very nice mural for that. This is the dining with kitchen and the breakfast table. And the other side, what you see are some curated artworks, which you'll see in the next slide. Those are the curated artworks. There are 9 pieces of paintings which can be reversible and make different combinations. Then left side is your living room, where they wanted to have a little bit of privacy, at the same time some partial vision. The bedrooms are very simple with gray and white themes. And we have a fabric designer in-house, so we get all these pillows and even curtains and everything designed for every house. This is another bedroom with that wallpaper on the back, and curtains are also matched to that. So another house, I'm just fleshing out initial few projects without talking much on that, and then we will talk in detail. This is a stepped out. It was a big challenge because this plot was just 60 feet by 50 feet, just 3,000 square feet. And they had huge requirement. They wanted to have 5 bedrooms, living, dining, kitchen, home theater, and it's a typical thing, that it happens in a metropolitan towns. They don't have space, but requirement is huge. A budget was not a problem at all, but sometimes it happens that that person wants to be in that area only. So that's what was the case here. So we call it stepped house because the house is staggered at landing levels of the staircase. So it's like steps. So what you see at this level is living, family area, dining and kitchen, and upper level again, you have 2 more bedrooms with double height there. Above that are 3 more bedrooms. So there are about 7 bedrooms in this house with a terrace on top. Yeah, so that's the front facade. We used this tandoor stone cladding for the walls, and what you see are the horizontal louvers. And you see that entrance is we're treated with wood, the treated wood, and entrance becomes part of that huge wooden mural like this. That's Akoya wood, which is available there. That was the view from inside, how it looks. Again, a very simple plain ceramic tiles with gray color with combination of wood and white masses. There is a pneumatic lift here. Just showing a few more slides of that. That's the pneumatic lift which takes you up, the family on top and living. So I love to have those spaces flowing from all directions, like horizontal and vertical, through various fenestrations. This is one more view from the, I'll just go back, from family to the living room. The plot was very small, but there was hardly any scope for garden. So we thought of having a vertical garden to the compound walls. So it gives that effect. There's a dining area with walkout, and what you see is the compound wall with vertical garden. Left side is the kitchen with this kind of breakfast table there. And we used margins for landscape. That is the kitchen with this breakfast table. It becomes a nice feature there. These are the setbacks which we used for gardens. And then, of course, treating those rooms were again another challenge with different themes. So we used different colors for that. So we made one blue room, and then I think we had to point at this side. Yeah. So that I don't know. Yeah. Then yellow room with very simple treatment, wooden floorings, and most of the artwork is also matched to the theme of the room. So these are the themes of the rooms. There's one green. And you see that all fabric is also designed to suit that room. The curtains, the pillows. Even you see that our fabric designer has used the same pattern on the pillows as well. This is the uppermost terrace. This is a very interesting project. This is called, we call it Earth House because it is supposed to be a weekend house on the outskirts of Pune. But what happened is like now Pune is growing so fast. By the time we build it, a client says that now we'll use it as our main house. And it became so good. So idea was that it's on the hillock. It's a place called Bugao. You must be knowing, most of you know Pune well. So it's on the hillock. And we did not want to disturb that contour of the hill. So we thought that we can do something where the structure should not look like an alien structure, just landed on that hill. It doesn't go with the natural surroundings. So we thought of using the contour of the hill itself, and we decided to, conventionally we could have done this, but we thought that that is not a good idea. So we decided to design it such a way that it goes within that profile, that contour of the hill, and it is not seen much. So that gave us a lot of opportunity to create courtyards and terraces. It is actually just a ground structure, but it has a huge, massive staircase because, as you know, it cascades down along the hill. So this is how this is the section and the terraces. So as section in detail. This is how it looks from the top. It was this peak is taken long back when it was constructed. But now if you take this photograph, you see only greenery around that you will see in some of the images ahead. This is how it looks. Now it is much more greener. So when you enter through the gate, you don't see house, you see only this. And that gate takes you down to the house. And this is a terrace again. And these terraces are designed like this. There are some skylights also. This is just a ground structure. It is cascading down. There is no space which is below each other. So this is how it looks. With that's a walkout from the living room. And there's a nice scenery outside. There is a mountain there. We wanted to use earthy materials. So we use this flooring, which is Shahabad. Again, it's from Hyderabad, because Hyderabad is very rich with is blessed with rich stones here. So we buy a lot of stones from here. And then we wanted to have rammed earth masonry walls. But what happens is, like, you see these two walls are rammed earth masonry, but the cohesiveness of that soil which is required is not available in that area. So it was difficult for us to actually work with rammed earth masonry. But then somebody suggested us that we can get the soil from south. But it would be hypocrisy, that getting soil from long distance and calling it a vernacular architecture. Or it would be complete hypocrisy. We said, no, we'll drop it. And rest of the walls we just did in regular construction with bulk kind of a plaster. We kept our slab as it is. Because of this planning, we get a lot of courtyards which have that rock cut edge as one side of the courtyard, and it created a lot of beautiful spaces because of this. So whether it is a transitional space like this or entrance of the house, you have some space like that, and we treated it as it is. Or even for the toilets, we could get this kind of very nice natural courtyards. That is the staircase which goes down. Just in between two rooms, we could get this kind of water body, which really creates a nice ambience there. As I said, that because of that planning, a lot of transitional spaces were created like this to move from one room to another room. Another view of the same. This is what I was talking about, that huge staircase which comes down. And this is the lowermost area of the house where there is entertainment zone, like there is a home theater and there is one bar And all these spaces walk out to the garden, whichever level, whether it is a topmost level or intermediate level, they're all in harmony with the nature, the spaces. Even the bedroom walks out, not just bed, but even the toilets are designed like that. They're just open, and there's nothing outside there. So this furniture style is not our regular style. We wanted to have a lot of bright colors because client got fed up of all these RD materials sometime, and then he said, fine, we will have some colors in the interior as well. So now it is all green. So from outside, inside, and this was the first initial photograph when we actually completed it. And this is 2 years after completion. And today, it's almost 6 years after completion. You don't see that house, it's all green everywhere. This one more house I'm just going to show you. It's in Satara. It's a G+2 structure with again similar kind of thing, having small plot but more requirement, a typical requirement of a town or cities. So where we had to accommodate everything. So it has got G+2 structure. We see that section. And living has a double-heighted volume, but the courtyard continues with green wall, vertical garden throughout the height. This is the front facade of the house. Again, we have used this tandoor stone cladding for the walls, but they are different. They are edges we have used, and pine wood louvers for that. So it is very tricky thing in India. We have to have breeze inside, but not that radiation from the sun. So I think we have most of our projects is find some kind of sun breakers in the form of finish, louvers or fins. So this is the view of the living room with this Italian marble flooring and more of wood. Furniture is also imported here. And this vertical garden, which goes right to the top. We have been experimenting with vertical gardens for past more than 20 years. So now we understood how to do it so that it doesn't dry up, because initially we used to get carried away by colorful plants, but it doesn't work for inside areas. So there are specific plants, if you plant, it works well. Just one more view of that. This is the dining room, and that side there was nothing much to view. So we just took that compound wall up and took the sunlight from top and blocked that. If we went again, created another greenery there. That's the kitchen area. And then there's a nice staircase we worked on a bit, which itself forms a piece of artwork, with colorful wooden treatment to that. And that's the staircase which goes up. The bedroom, we had this a partition between bed and the walk-in closet. Was a huge painting done on site by a very renowned artist called Sanjeev Sangpal from Maharashtra. So this is another bed which has a walkout. This is a daughter's bed with some mirror on top and then some pinker sofas. The home theater. He wanted to have home theater for almost 28 people. So, and that's a spa there. Now this is our recently done project. See, if you see my presentation about 20 years back, I used to show residences design on 35,000 square feet of a plot, 50,000 square feet of a plot, and that is there in most of the books. And as I started my practice in Pune, and we started working in metropolitan towns, the plot size reduced, to 3,000 and 5,000. So this is again another house with 5 bedrooms, with similar kind of things. The living room, courtyards in between, the dining, living spaces, and a bedroom, one bedroom at one level, and 2 more bedrooms on top. And it's again G+2 structure. We call it house of floating masses because the masses are designed like that. There are three materials we used. One was stone masonry, the other was this strand-woven bamboo cladding, which works well for the exterior now. Just another view of that. Most of the structural work which you find very slick pergolas are because we have the engineering department. Most of them we have done in-house, that particular element. Because you know that if you go to structural design, what their answer is. And then this is one more view of that house. Then again, this is the view from the walkout when you look into the living room. That the space what we see is the family room, which again it looks like a floating mass there. Just one more view of that. This is from other side, like you walk out in the, you must be observing that there are no grills. We have a lot of walkouts in most of our projects. Because then grills, clients do insist on grills, but we come up with idea that there are shutters which come down at night and we hide them in elevation treatment. So that they are automated with the time. Just view through the courtyard to that other side. As I was talking about, I love to have this interaction amongst various levels through spaces. That's the kitchen with some bold color orange there. And then another view at how that living room and dining has that floor space. Some bedrooms, and again for all the bedrooms we have these walkouts, whichever level it is. Now this is another bed with first floor walkout there. Again, what we see, artwork is all exclusively done for this house. That's what we do for every house, because people spend so much, and then buying something from the market which is repetitive, we don't believe in that. So we do have this artists who work with us. There's a family room there. Children's bed, some colorful walls. There's a game room on top. Yeah, these were my residential projects. So now I'm going to show you some project. This is an industrial project, which is also an award-winning project. This is a winery for Fratelli. You must have heard of Fratelli wines. It's India's now costliest wine. It is an Indo-Italian wine. The story was like these Italians wanted to have this winery in India, and they entered into an agreement with an Indian guy, and the site was chosen as Akluz. It is near Pune, about 135 kilometers. And idea was that they actually had planted the these grapes, and they were different kind of plants. Like they were not creepers, they were grapes, and the crop was supposed to be ready in 7 months, and they wanted everything to be done within 7 months. So we have to, right from designing to completion of the project is done in 7 months. Out of that, we took about 2 months for designing and doing the detailing of the project. Then some 15-20 days we took for appointing contractors, and rest of the structure what you're going to see is completed within just 4.5 months with everything, with interiors. So this is that 40 acres of vineyards. And again, there are another 100 acres nearby, which is again connected to this. So you know that wine making process requires this kind of things, like harvesting, then there is crushing, fermentation, then aging and bottling. And it requires, this is the requirement. You need a tank hall, you need a bottling plant, cellar for wine storing, and this is the having highest capacity in India. It produces 9 lakh liters of wines every year. And then the administration block with wine tasting lounge, office, and we wanted to have guest house because this place is out of nowhere. Even if you want to buy mineral water, you have to travel about 50 kilometers. So we had our own guest house there. So this was the zoning actually, a very quick plan here. So what you see is like you enter from here, and this is the administrative office. And they wanted to have wine cellar. And that cellar, after excavating that cellar, we realized that there was huge stuff to be disposed of, that soil. So we created a mount here. And that gave a lot of effect to the building. And then it also gave a little bit of, cushioning from the radiation from this side. And this is that guest house with tank hall here. A tank hall, administration, and then bottling. And this side is actually the service area for loading, unloading, and crushing of grapes. So the real challenge was that the tank hall is not air conditioned, but those tanks are jacketed, and we have to maintain that temperature. So we had just 3 layers of roofing there. So we used some technology where we could support huge spans by very slick members. And we did something like to our south side we designed corridor, and north side we kept open. So it was climate responsive architecture as well. So this is that winery you see from a distance. One more view. So there is office below this. And then between administration office and the manufacturing unit, there was a nice green space there. The cellar, they did not want to have direct access to the cellar because it's never like that. You have to go through something like this, so that they open it once in a month or once in 2 months. That is the cellar. As I said that it had to be done in just 4.5 months. We used PEB structures, and the superstructure was done in factory, and foundation was done on site simultaneously, and the project was completed in 4.5 months. And interior was very simple. They wanted to have classical furniture, which we never use in our projects, but since that they wanted to have that nostalgia with wine. We got this furniture from Italy, they got it from Italy, and we just simply had these colors. Let me tell you, the Italians are very conservative about spending. So it's not just India, but it's abroad also. So we had to do everything in a very, very short budget. So only with some colors we made those things. And this is the wine testing area with simple Kota stone. That's another lounge on top of that, which projects out on winery, vineyards. Just one more view of that. This is how it looks from the main entrance. Actually, there is one very funny story. This was completely designed as, and I'm going back, as a cantilever. But this is a completely designed as cantilever. And we completed this project. This column which you see was not there. We completed the project, and after a few months, that client was behind me all the time. He said, "Idhar ek support laga do." They were feeling uncomfortable. He used to think, but I said, my structural designer has done it, don't worry. And then project got finished, and I didn't do photography for 6 months. And after 6 months, I sent one photographer to this. I couldn't go myself because I was busy. And he did photography, and he came back and he showed me the photographs, and I was shocked. I said, these columns were not there. And then I called the client, and I called my structural designer. He said they were insisting, and look at the column size also. It's very funny. See. So it's a psychological column. So at night, it looks like, shimmering wine. So this is it's a government project, circuit house, VVIP circuit house, which we did in Pune, where you know that circuit house is all about. It's a big challenge of circuit house. When you think about circuit house, what comes to your mind? A lot of chaos. That there are a lot of people. There are VIPs. There are bureaucrats. Security guys, and somebody comes, some minister comes, and your entire entrance area and porch is flooded with people and it's all chaotic situation. We wanted to avoid that. So here we worked a lot on, there's a circulation of bureaucrats, of ministers, and of security personnel, and the people as well. So this was the site here. One side was a golf course. This is a very prime location in Pune camp area. And this was the existing circuit house, which is designed in a classical style. And then this was the proposed site for us. And there are a lot of trees around also. And then this was the site. And then, as you know that you require the marginal space for fire brigade to move around. After that, this is what we could get as footprint. And we did not want to disturb these trees. So we decided to build only in this area. So the footprint was not much. Then we decided to, when we create a block, as you know that we do not allow any space to be more than normally 8 meters from the face of the exterior face, because light travels 8 meters normally. So it automatically created that courtyard for this house. And again, courtyard is a very, it's a vernacular feature ethos that we have been using courtyards in India since ages because of various reasons that we will talk about. Then we just cut it from the west side, because west side is normally very harsh. So if we can avoid any function to the west, we should do it. So we did that. And then there are 3 vertical cores. This was VIP core because there is a helipad on top of that. Idea was that when ministers come, there's a lot of wastage of energy and of labor, energy of even fuel, because they come with a huge convoy. 10, 15 officers are unnecessarily employed there. So we presented this to collector that we will have a helipad here so that he comes by a chopper and it just goes, and city doesn't have any pollution. And whatever risk of flying, that is his. And he was convinced because collector is the first person to go and welcome every minister. And then we got this done there. So you'll see that later on. So all the rooms were actually located to south facades. Sorry, just going in reverse, yeah. So again, we had some connecting bridges which were connecting these 2 wings. And then there were 2 conference halls of different capacities, 20 and 40. So this was, when we work with government project, another challenge is that the brief from the government, it can come anytime, even after constructing the half the structure. So this is what happened with this, and we could still do it. So this is the actual 3D of that, with that helipad here and things. And as this was like contemporary vernacular, that we use vernacular ethos in a contemporary style. Like this courtyard is not a new concept at all. It has been there in most of the government buildings, if you see the old British era, because it works very well for various reasons. It gives you additional space for your waiting, because however capacity waiting you design for government buildings, it's never enough in India. There's always, and this kind of buildings have very irregular occupancy. Sometimes there are 50 people, sometimes there are 500 people. So it's difficult to design covered waiting areas. So these courtyards can take care of that. This is the front facade of the building. We use exposed concrete. This is that conference with vertical louvers. We're very keen on doing it because west side normally horizontal louvers doesn't work. So we use that here. That's the porch. It has got 2 basements because our idea was that to accommodate about more than 100 cars. Idea was to keep that campus vehicular free. So these are the courtyards which I was talking about. So it helps in accommodating additional waiting space. So there is another waiting space there. And it was carefully planned to see to that, it remains shaded for longer time throughout the year. So it is very important to understand the proportions and then, the width to height ratio if you have to have this courtyard for a functional reason. There's a water body there because water bodies normally, they create microclimate. They add humidity to the space. Just another view. there are two slick bridges which connect them. Now, you have to understand that this is a PWD project. So we use a lot of passive strategies as well. We treated the roof with insulation, then planning was done such a way that it takes care of hot dry climate. Then louvers we used as shading devices for various facades differently as per the climatic demand. So if you see, the south facade was treated like this, and north we had some glasses with, of course, north also has little bit of radiation, that is ambient heat comes from there, but this glass can be used with some particular specifications. So interior also, we wanted to have interior also with a theme of nature, save nature, save our environment. So that theme was used here for interiors as well. And that also gave us a lot of innovation points from Griha's point of view as a green building. So if you see, the motifs of all nature have been used for most of the interior here. And the artwork, about 230 artworks are used here, done by about 30 artists from various places, and they were given a common theme, go green, or you cannot survive without flora or fauna. With all these themes, they have created this artwork. So if you see, in most of the places, you will see that artwork. This music is not running. There's music after this. I think it's missing. I have removed most of the slides which were about sustainability because this project itself was about 45 minutes talk. So I had to really, cut short. So this collector office is a very interesting project. When I finished this circuit house, the deputy CM was impressed with our work, and collector office project was stuck up for a long time, almost for 4 or 5 years, because of a reason that the proposals that they had finalized, most of the proposals had demand of cutting about 120 trees. Huge, massive trees which are about 50 years old. And in Pune, it's not that easy because you have to cut 2 trees, you have to, matter goes to the High Court. So the project was pending, so it was held. The deputy CM came, he invited me and he said, can you do something where, we can avoid this? I said, I will try. Because previously also good architects have worked on that, So we started working on this project. That was the area. And this original collector office was already there, but it was in fragments, it was adjusted like the small buildings, and it was very difficult for them to operate like this. So they wanted to build one structure, one massive structure, which was supposed to be for about 2 lakh square feet. So of course, parking requirement was about 300 car parks. Because in Pune, that is the requirement for 2 lakh square feet of this thing. And if you had, so they demolished the structures, and this is when we came into picture, and these trees were to be saved. So if we had gone conventionally with this planning, like most of the architects had done, we had to go for basement, and that was forcing to cut the trees. So we didn't do that. We dropped that idea. And we located few areas where we can have these structures like this, and we decided to have a parking building separately. Again, of course, it's a government project, so parking building, we did not want to have vehicular elevators because that doesn't work. So with proper ramps. So we thought that we can have parking building here, and these two wings can be office wings. And we went on developing it. So this saved most of our trees. And out of 120 which was supposed to be cut, we saved 112 trees. And 8 trees which we said that will be shifted, it never happens. They shifted, but whether to survive or not. But at least we could save 112 trees because of this solution. So we created a central plaza, and again with our process, like we created these courtyards there, and these are 2 office wings with central courtyards. And again, then we connected them. Parking building is connected by these bridges, and these 2 wings are again connected by the bridges. And idea was that since parking building also rises with the office floors, the officers can park their vehicles on the same level, and they can simply walk. They don't have to use elevators. So that can also be energy saving thing. So we did that, and then wing A, wing B, and then on top of that, we placed another wing that was collector's office, like collector sits here. So this is how it happened. And then we used fins to cut radiation. Fins is a very old technique, but the way it is used is very contemporary now. We had some skylights, and this gave us a lot. These government buildings, this building is 2 lakh square feet, out of which only 10,000 square feet is mechanically air conditioned. Rest of the building is naturally ventilated. And there's natural light, enough natural light also. And best part of this building is that people working there are very happy. So as you go on doing this, then visitors entry, then we had a separate entry for parking building for officers or their staff. Then we planted some new trees as well. And this is the actual photo of the building after completion. and this building is, we don't require any electricity from MSCB. We generate our own energy on solar. So it is 100% autonomous for electricity. There's one more thing. When they demolished this structure, Heritage Department had put up a condition that you have to preserve this porch. Maybe you can rebuild it, okay? Now just imagine, and their condition was the new building should have the same porch. Now the funniest part was that this porch was for 6,000 square feet of a building, and new building was 2 lakh square feet. Just imagine this porch for 2 lakh square feet. And most of the competitors had done that because it was a condition. So I said, we are not going to do it. You want to preserve this porch, we will do it, but it will be kind of a monument in the central plaza. And Heritage Committee was convinced. They said, fine, as far as you are retaining it or rebuilding it, we are fine with it. And then we designed it such a way that in the central plaza of that building, that becomes a monument. And we removed this plaster, and we got back in the original. Again, whatever buildings we had demolished, we use all that stone for the. If you see this collector office, the ground floor is completely in stone masonry. So that old stone was used here. Of course, we had to buy some more, but maximum of that we used here for this building. So this is what I was talking about, the central plaza, where we use this, rebuild this porch here, and this is the building. And as I said that we do artwork in every building. Here also we did a huge mural, which was about 8 meter by 8 meter. And to give message to the people that let's join hands to save our environment. It's a tree made out of hands. So we gave that message here as well. So this is the facade. This has been featured in many books also as a climate responsive facade. Because as I said that this gives you, once you have the fins, inside you can have regular aluminum sliding windows. And we have the courtyard to the other side, so which gives that cross ventilation and stack effect is generated. So this is the front facade, where you see that this is projecting out by 9 meters, which was a big task. And this is about 24 meters. So this is that from closer. This is another view of that. This is what I was talking about. So it really works well. We have this turbo ventilators here, which are again not driven by mechanical energy. And then, it actually works. And initially what happens, like peons used to keep those windows shut. And we had to go, our staff, we have to go and educate them. No, don't do that. That doesn't happen. The air currents will not flow. So that is another thing that you need to educate operators as well if you design green buildings. So post-operative visits are very important. So again, there are two courtyards for two wings. So this is what I was talking about, the air. It actually works. It is not just a diagram. We have experienced it ourselves. So these are the bridges I was talking about, spanning about 24 meters. It's a composite structure. Just another view of that from top. From this, you can understand the scale of the bridges. I wanted to have this entire building in PT, pre-stress rather. But then again, PWD was not ready because they wanted to have it's maintenance because you need to tight those things periodically. But then PWD had recommended 8 columns in this central plaza, which just would have spoiled everything. So there was a big argument, and we said no. We were ready to give up the project. And matter went to that chief minister because that time, this was done in 2015, 16. So that time, all these projects, architects were appointed with the permission of chief minister as green building consultants. So matter went to him, and he said, and then we said that our structural designer is giving in writing to local authority. Then why should PWD object that? And CM said, yes, that's right. Let them do whatever they want to do as far as they are taking the responsibility on paper. So we could convince them not to have those columns. Otherwise, imagine this central plaza with 8 columns like this and 8 columns like this, with 16 columns in the central plaza. Huge columns up about 3 feet high. But then we use, for top floor, we use that PT. So this is another view of that. So some of the trees are very, very close to the building. And at one place, I don't know whether that slide is here, but it's not here. At one place, we had to redesign our building, cutting the building, and we changed the shape of that building. This is the last project I'm showing you. This is a bus station at Baramati. We recently did it. It's still not completed. About 90% of the building is completed. And I visited this last week, so I thought of just adding it to the presentation. It's a nice project. So this is the site. This is the main road. There's another road for buses here. Presently, there was already a bus stand there. We call it bus station because it's supposed to station about 100 buses at night as parking in that area. So their idea was that they wanted to have some revenue generating model, like they wanted to earn because it was main road. So they thought that let's have some commercial establishment in the front and ST stand or the ST station, bus station at back. And you know that how these commercial establishments on ST stand are, nobody is ready to buy because of the ambience that they create. So it was a big issue. Then we thought of some idea that we thought that let's have a huge green space in between, so that they're segregated, 2 zones are segregated. So we gave them this idea that bus station is here with the buses parking, bus movement will be here, and this main road will have a commercial shops plus offices on top of that. And then with that we started working on. So we thought that access is like that, so we just turned a little bit like this, so that access to the bus was the most important thing, visitors access, and buses will come from here. So this is how the designing started with other requirements. So this is the simple plan with a huge landscape courtyard in between and bus stand here and commercial development here. And this is the entry for the bus stand. And another thing, we used the two floors here, and their requirements were also housed on the back side. So this was the idea, like this is the bus stand, the huge central court, and the commercial establishments like shops and offices on top of that. So we used, this is the actual photograph which I clicked in last visit. We use exposed brick here, and this roof what you see is zinc roof, because it's a government project. So zinc has a life of more than 60 years. And what you see here, these pans are huge. Now, somebody had, of course, MSCB had put this electric pole here, which recently they removed it after my visit. So we have to say, just simply remove it. And it was not required also. So this is how it is, and you can just see some of the views. They are incomplete, just 90% complete. Interior and landscape is pending and supposed to be completed by 15th of Feb. I had gone to check the light effects, so there are some night views. So this is our team. So thank you very much. Well in time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for that very inspiring presentation and sharing such keen and nice insights from your journey. So we are very, very happy that, we also have with us many of our past chairs. So I would like to first invite on stage Architect Pallavi Anchuri. I would like to invite on stage also Architect Manoj Vahi. Manojji. Yes, please. Please stay back with us, sir. A small token from our side, sir. Thank you so much for joining us here. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Thank you once again, sir. We thoroughly enjoyed that. Yes. So as we move on, it is now time to call on stage our gold partner from Black and Blues. We have with us the team of Black and Blues, in fact, Mr. Nikhil Mittal and his team. So can I please request Mr. Nikhil to come on stage along with your team to share briefs of your offerings.
Very good evening, everyone, and a happy new year. I would like to thank Pallavi ji and the managing committee at IIID for giving us this opportunity. I am Nikhil Mittal, co-founder and partner at Black and Blues. Me, along with my wife, Nidhi Mittal, started this company. We had a very humble beginning when we started this company way back in 1996 by my late father, Mahesh Kumar ji Agarwal. And over the years, we have grown, and currently we have 5 companies under the Mittals group. We at Black and Blues are into imports, manufacturing, and project sales of seating systems. We are a seating company offering a wide array of products. We work very closely with our clients, understanding their requirements and offering them world-class products which are high on quality and aesthetics. Some of our product portfolio includes bar counters and cabinets. We have some exciting range of bar cabinets inspired by the European and American lifestyle. More such products you can find it at our showroom. Our core competency is office chairs. We have more than 250 products to choose from. All our chairs are ergonomically designed. Whether it be the staff chairs, executive chairs, premium executive chairs, staff chairs, we have it all under one roof. One of my favorite products, the accent chairs or the standalone chairs, what we call it, for your study or living rooms. We have a lot of chic designs to choose from. All the sofas we make it in-house. Apart from the standard designs, we also customize sofas as per the client requirements. We have Korean stitching machines, so the finish what you find with the Chinese sofas, we can replicate the same in our own factory with a better quality. We have ventured into the Horeca furniture as well. Whether it be the braid chairs or outdoor or indoor chairs, we have got it all covered under one roof. We also do workstations, desks, and storages. We are blessed to have a hardworking and a dedicated team of 75 plus employees. 65% of our product portfolio is of Indian origin. We are not just an import-only company. We give 3-year warranty for all our products. We have a dedicated service team wherein the turnaround time is just 24 hours. And we directly import from Southeast Asia. We have a state-of-art manufacturing facility spread across an area of 10,000 SFT, where from fabrication to upholstery to woodwork, we all do it in-house. A centrally located mother warehouse where all the products are extensively stocked. This is our new showroom which we have recently inaugurated at High Tech City, opposite to Shilpa Ramam. It is spread across an area of 7,000 SFT, exclusively dedicated for the seating systems. So we would love to host you all there someday. This is an extensive list of all the projects which we have done. And these are some of the projects which we have concluded in the last 6 months. Clients form our lifeblood, and they have been generous enough to give their testimonials. And currently we have a 5-star rating on Google review. There will be 40% less food for 9 billion population by 2050. So we at Black and Blue support Save the Soil movement initiated by Sadhguru. And we are also participating in the ASTEC and Insider X show. So would love to host you all there. And lastly, we are a young company with a lot of aspirations. So we would like you all to be a part of our journey in taking this company national and international someday, so that we can leave a legacy for more young people like us to follow and be inspired by. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nikhil. I first request Architect Pallavi Anchuri to come on stage. We would like to felicitate our sponsors. Can I also request our office bearers of the managing committee to please join me on stage. I would like to request first Praveen, Chairman-elect, to please come on stage. I would also like to call Sandeep Jain, Vice Chairman, Trade. Architect Naveen, Honorary Secretary. Architect Amita Raj, Joint Honorary Secretary. Architect Rakesh Vasu, Honorary Treasurer. Please join us on stage. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the Black and Blues team. I request the MC to stay on stage. Can I request the DEFA lighting team also to please join us on stage? Thank you very much. So dear friends, I really hope you've enjoyed your evening and had a great time. We come to the end of the evening, and as we finish, I'd like to first invite on stage our Honorary Secretary Architect Naveen Kumar Chalsani to deliver his vote of thanks, and then we will follow that up with group pictures before we head off for our dinner and cocktails. Naveen, over to you.
Yeah. Good evening. On behalf of the entire team of IIID Hyderabad, I stand here today to express our deepest gratitude and extend a heartfelt vote of thanks for making fellowship meet a success. We congratulate Architect Yashwant sir and his team. And I would like to express our sincere appreciation to Architect Sunil Patil for his insightful and captivating session. His expertise in design has not only inspired us, but also provided the invaluable guidance to all the aspiring architects and interior designers at present here today. And we are grateful for the time and effort, and you are dedicated to making this event a remarkable one. None of this would have been possible without any generous support of our sponsors, Platinum partner Defa Lighting Solution, and Gold partners Black and Blue. We would like to express our heartfelt thanks to each and every sponsor who contribute to the success of this fellowship meet. A special note of appreciation goes to the Marigold Hotel and their team, and also the Universal Studios for their support. Lastly, we would like to thank the audience for being the part of the fellowship meet. We look forward for many more such enriching experience in the future. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. Join us for the dinner. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Naveen. Can I request the managing committee of 23-25 to please join on the stage? Architect Sunil Patil, sir, can I also request you to please join us on stage? I would also request our past chairs to please join us for a group picture with Architect Sunil Patil. Yashwant sir, Nandu sir, Aparna ma'am, Gururaj sir, Ravi sir, Manoj ji, please join us on stage. Whatever you desire. However you desire. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today and making this evening so very special. Please join us for dinner and cocktails, and take care.